funny business, a woman's career. The things you drop on your way up the ladder so you can move faster. You forget you'll need them again when you get back to being a woman.
We've all witnessed the glitz and glamour of Hollywood's A-listers, but what about their dark secrets? Today, we delve into the sinister underbelly of the entertainment industry, revealing the hidden, malevolent facets of your favorite actresses. Stay tuned, because it's time to discover aspects of them you never knew existed.
It's gonna get you. Listen, Sally, I made up my mind a long time ago. I'm not gonna spend my whole life on the wrong side of the railroad tracks.
Well, I hope you don't get hit by a train while you're crossing over.
Number 15. Jean Harlow. When discussing blonde bombshells in Hollywood, Marilyn Monroe often steals the spotlight. Yet behind her fame lies a muse that Hollywood would rather you forget, Jean Harlow. Starring in Hell's Angel, the highest-grossing film of 1930, Jean Harlow became not only the talk of the town, but a global star overnight. And why wouldn't she be? She was at the peak of Hollywood. Her word was law. She had a bold, unapologetic personality with a fiery temper to match. She would often clash with directors on decisions and openly criticize co-stars if she felt their performances weren't up to her lofty standards. But while some say her directness and refusal to conform to convention made her a symbol of rebellion, there were moments when her fiery spirit boiled over, such as the infamous incident when she hurled a prop phone during a heated argument. As the years passed, Harlow's fiery reputation continued to precede her, but it was the sin of her raunchiness that became unforgivable. But it wasn't just her temperament that garnered attention. Harlow's unabashed sensuality, both on and off screen, scandalized conservative circles. Reports of her unconventional methods to enhance her allure included icing her nipples before shooting scenes, stirred moral outrage, and fueled calls for censorship. Amidst the uproar, the Motion Picture Production Code was born, imposing strict moral guidelines on film content. Harlow, once celebrated for her daring roles, found herself typecast in more wholesome characters. However, her personal life was marked by tragedy. The suicide of her second husband, Paul Byrne, plunged her into a deep depression, leading to struggles with alcoholism and a tragic end at the young age of 26. If it pleases you, though, none of Harlow's antics can be compared to who we've got next.
How? How could this happen? How could you humiliate me this way? I'm ashamed to be...
Number 14. Fay Dunaway. Fay Dunaway, a name once synonymous with Hollywood glamour and talent, now evokes a different sentiment altogether. Once hailed with the brightest honor in the film industry, an Academy Award, Dunaway's fall from grace is as spectacular as it is lamentable. She was larger than life, or so she thought. The late Bette Davis's scathing assessment of Dunaway as the worst person in Hollywood now seems eerily prescient in light of the numerous reports of her on-set behavior. From hurling objects at crew members to enforcing outlandish bans on wardrobe choices, Dunaway's demeanor knew no bounds. One particularly infamous incident occurred on the set of 1931's Mommy Dearest, where Dunaway reportedly slapped co-star Ratanya Alda on the very first day of filming, leaving a lasting impression of cruelty. But the truly shocking revelations lie in Dunaway's disregard for basic decency. Reports of her urinating into trash cans and refusing to flush toilets in her dressing room paint a picture of someone out of touch with reality. She just didn't care about anyone but herself. Even esteemed Broadway professionals fell victim to her wrath, as evidenced by Paul Huntley's account of her physical assault on his assistant during a production of Masterclass. If she didn't like her makeup, she would yell and slap the hands of her customers. Like a quality cologne, it didn't take long for Dunaway's nasty egoist reputation to precede her. With actors dreading the prospect of working alongside her and production crews breathing a sigh of relief in her absence, her star soon dimmed. But perhaps most damning is Dunaway's behind-the-scenes antics, where she would halt production for frivolous demands and seek unwarranted credits for her associates. From tossing urine at a director who denied her a bathroom break to facing multiple lawsuits for her verbal abuse, Dunaway's legacy is tarnished by her reprehensible behavior. Once a symbol of Hollywood glamour, she is now a cautionary tale of unchecked ego and cruelty. Number 13. Clara Bo. She was one of the most iconic it girls of her era. In fact, she practically created the term. Time and time again, she made headlines, mostly for no good reasons, but every villain has an origin story. Clara Bo's meteoric rise to fame in old Hollywood was as dazzling as it was intoxicating, but behind the glittering facade lay a darker truth. While she enchanted audiences with her tomboyish charm and expressive performances, her journey was fraught with controversy and moral ambiguity. As the proverbial it girl, Bo embodied the spirit of the roaring 20s with her vivacious energy and carefree attitude. However, her ascent to stardom was not without its pitfalls, as her ambition often led her to trample over others in pursuit of success. On the set of Painted People in 1924, Bo's audaciousness reached new heights when she brazenly demanded a larger role from the esteemed star Colleen Moore. Displaying an utter disregard for hierarchy and respect, she walked up to Moore and audaciously stated, "I don't like my part, I want to play yours." It was simply unheard of at the time. Moore was the bigger star, and Bo was neither playing nice nor fair. But while that spoke volumes of her erratic persona, make no mistake, it was Bo's personal life that truly revealed the depths of her moral bankruptcy. Despite her outward charm, she was known for her reckless behavior and scandalous affairs, often making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Sure, she enjoyed wearing shorter skirts and shorter haircuts and generally having good, reckless fun. She had no issues partying late into the night and arriving on the film set in the early hours of the morning, accompanied by whatever lover she chose. Some of her most notable flings included heartthrob actors Gary Cooper and Gilbert Roland. But as her fame grew, so did her appetite for forbidden fruit, leading her to pursue married men with reckless abandon. Her disregard for societal norms and marital boundaries left a trail of heartbreak and ruin, with one woman even resorting to legal action after accusing Bo of stealing her husband. As her scandals multiplied, Bo's support dwindled, and by the time of her passing, she had all but faded from memory. Her once bright fame tarnished by her reputation for selflessness and irresponsibility, Bo became a tragic figure, forgotten by many in the annals of Hollywood history. She serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of fame and the consequences of living life on the edge, a deafening case study of what might have been. But if there's one person that Hollywood wants you to forget, it has to be the next woman on our list.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'm sorry he saw you.
You did it deliberately. Deliberately. You planned it like this.
Number 12, Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball, one of the most popular thespians of her time, gained fame as the star of the iconic television show I Love Lucy. Her comedic talent and charm attracted audiences worldwide, making her a beloved household name. But boy, she was far from perfect. Behind the scenes, Ball's persona was in stark contrast to her lovable character. Behind the scenes, Ball was known to be a control freak, often insisting on having things her way. And because she was a force of influence, she indirectly used her power as leverage. Her vibe off-screen wasn't even better. She allegedly harbored a bitter attitude towards her career, resentful of not achieving the same level of success as other top performers of her time. She failed to look inward, rather than being choked by imaginary forces that may be. Her apparent staleness stemmed from her own limitations. Her acting range was limited, and she struggled to adapt to roles outside of her comedic niche. Moreover, there were disturbing reports of Ball's unpleasant behavior towards others. Rumors circulated of her throwing coffee at flight attendants and displaying other instances of nasty behavior. These incidents painted a stark contrast to the image of the affable and charming Lucille Ball portrayed to the public. So you see, while Lucille Ball may have been adored by millions on-screen, her off-screen persona revealed a much darker side to her. Despite her comedic genius, her reputation of having a controlling nature, bitterness, and alleged mistreatment of others became her biggest liability. Hollywood may choose to gloss over these unpleasant truths by preferring to remember Ball as the beloved Lucy Ricardo rather than the flawed individual she truly was. But her blemish remains.
By himself. About Carol and Judd. They're getting married right away.
Oh, that's wonderful. I was hoping they wouldn't wait. Oh, I'm so happy for them. I don't know.
Number 11, Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford, the epitome of Hollywood glamour, appeared to have it all. Beauty, talent, and 3 Oscar nominations to her name. Yet behind the glitz and glamour of Tinseltown lurked a darker side to this iconic actress no one knew. And it will be this evil, this deep flaw that ended up defining her legacy. She was an egomaniac consumed by jealousy, and her shortcomings as a mother were exposed in the infamous tell-all book Mommy Dearest by her adopted daughter Christina. The book painted a chilling picture of Crawford's behavior, revealing instances where she lied to her children about their birth parents, flew into fits of rage over wire hangers, and even resorted to physical abuse. To the wider public, Miss Crawford was impeccable. She was not an abusive parent who was prone to traumatic displays of abuse. She was not an alcoholic who had episodes of violence. She was not the tyrannical queen who apparently should be feared. To everyone else, she was simply Joan Crawford, an icon in Hollywood. Boy, were they wrong. Whenever her kids dared to speak during lunch, Joan would angrily slap them into silence. After that, they would have to beg for their mother's permission and wait for her divine approval. Worst of all, poor Christina was forced to stay at school all summer when there was practically no one else there. Don't bother racking your head about it, there wasn't any good reason. Although some of Crawford's adopted children disputed these accounts, the weight of the evidence leans in Christina's favor, with Crawford's erratic behavior well documented. Right from the start, Crawford shouldn't have had the kids anyway. Her quest to adopt children took dubious turns, with one child being reclaimed by their birth mother just days after adoption. Additionally, her bitter rivalry with fellow actress Bette Davis reached legendary proportions, culminating in Crawford sabotaging her own film's box office to prevent Davis from winning her third Oscar. In the end, Joan Crawford's legacy will forever be blemished by her hidden darkness. While she may have dazzled audiences on-screen, her off-screen persona reveals the true image of our beloved star behind closed doors, and it wasn't a pretty sight. Up next is her eternal rival.
She went to all the New York nominees and said, if you can't get out there, I'll accept your award. And please do not vote for her. She was so jealous.
Number 10, Bette Davis. Bette Davis, the epitome of talent and tenacity, was also one of the most polarizing figures in old Hollywood. Behind her sharp wit and mean demeanor lay a complex web of emotions rooted in her tumultuous relationship with her father. His relentless pursuit of perfection instilled in Davis a drive to excel, but it also fueled her abrasive nature and uncompromising demeanor. Her legendary feud with Crawford is a glowing testament. What started as a clash of egos soon escalated into a bitter rivalry fueled by jealousy and resentment. Crawford's marriage to Davis's co-star, Frank Attone, only added fuel to the fire, leading Davis to harbor a grudge that would last a lifetime. For going behind her back to steal a man she loved, she swore never to forgive Crawford, and she meant it. The tensions between Davis and Crawford came to a head on set, where Davis's disdain for her co-star was palpable. Despite Crawford's attempt to maintain a professional facade, Davis's sharp tongue and ruthless ambition often left wounds that never fully healed. In one particularly shocking incident where Crawford couldn't use a double, Davis took advantage of the opportunity to hit and injure Crawford's head, leaving a lasting scar on their already fraught relationship. But Davis's wrath was not reserved for Crawford alone. Numerous co-stars felt the sting of her sharp tongue, including Celeste Holm, who was subjected to Davis's constant rudeness and disdain. Davis's dismissive attitude and refusal to adhere to social norms earned her a reputation as one of the most difficult actresses to work with in Hollywood. Luckily for her, though, her rash manners were not enough to have her buried under the sands of time. While she may have been disliked by some, her undeniable talent and dedication to her craft were enough to immortalize her as one of the greatest actresses of her time. Can you guess who comes after her, though?
Of course, I order too many flowers and too many hats and too many everything. But I want them to the theater.
Number 9, Greta Garbo. Contrary to what most people often think, Greta Garbo's persona often left people with the impression that she was mean-spirited, and for good reason. Renowned for her introverted nature and penchant for solitude, she seemed aloof and indifferent to the feelings of those around her. While some attributed her demeanor to blunt honesty, others believed it stemmed from intentional cruelty. One encounter that exemplified Garbo's distant demeanor occurred on a shared soundstage with Marion Davies. While Davies' set exuded warmth and hospitality, Garbo remained secluded behind curtains, as was her preference. However, during a break, Garbo unexpectedly intruded on Davies' set, observing quietly from Davies' chair for an extended period. Initially flattered by Garbo's presence, Davies reciprocated the visit, seeking permission from her director to visit Garbo's set. However, her attempt at goodwill was met with unprecedented hostility from Greta Garbo. Garbo's cold and dismissive attitude toward Davies culminated in a hurtful insult, claiming she came to see another actress, not Davies. In her words, "You're very funny, you make me laugh. I didn't come over to see you, I came over to see a great actress, Jetta Goudal." Davis was immediately distressed. Garbo's unprovoked insult was a huge slap in the face. But instead of Garbo showing remorse or apologizing for her harsh comment, she escalated the situation by demanding that Davies leave immediately. Despite Davies' attempts to diffuse the tension with her social graces, Garbo was unmoved. In fact, she further compounded the situation by threatening to halt filming. Witnesses to the incident, such as Luella Parsons, relayed the encounter to others, further tarnishing Garbo's reputation. Despite efforts to defend her behavior as mere crankiness, such incidents only added to the perception of Garbo as a mean-spirited individual. But what do you think? Was her honesty too blunt, or was her aloof demeanor just an excuse to be cruel? In any case, despite her undeniable talent and grace, it's hard to say that Garbo was kind through and through. But if you want to know an actress who is truly vile, you might want to check out who's next.
You were about to give me a piece of your mind.
I was about to do no such thing. I don't attack women.
Except behind their backs.
Number 8. Tula Bankhead. Tula Bankhead, the original inspiration for Disney's iconic villain Cruella de Vil, was a larger-than-life figure whose flamboyant personality and reckless behavior left an indelible mark on Hollywood history. Physically, the resemblance between Bankhead and Cruella is uncanny. Both were skeletally thin, chain-smoking women with deep, raspy voices. Just like Cruella's reckless driving in her monstrous car, Bankhead was known for careening around London in her Bentley, leaving chaos in her wake. And don't even get us started on how the duo shared a signature over-the-top cackle. But Bankhead's villainous persona extended beyond her appearance. Her offstage behavior was equally shocking. Renowned for her wild parties, scandalous affairs, and unapologetic bisexuality, she lived life on her own terms, defying societal norms and conventions at every turn. Her mood swings and unpredictable nature were legendary, and she had a penchant for spreading tasteless jokes and rumors, including one about her own supposed aborted pregnancy. But if that wasn't crazy enough, Tula's rebellious streak dates back to her childhood. She was known for bullying her sister and classmates in school. When her family grew weary of her rebellious behavior, the uncontrollable Bankhead was sent off to convents, where she faced expulsion twice, once for hurling ink at the Mother Superior and again at the age of 12 for making inappropriate advances towards a nun. She didn't get any better with age. One of Bankhead's signature party tricks was her penchant for nudity, using it as a shock tactic to garner attention and amuse herself. Whether it was performing naked cartwheels or stripping at a moment's notice, she reveled in scandalizing those around her and became a sensation in her own right, even when her plays received lackluster reviews. Despite warnings from doctors about her excessive drinking and smoking habits, she refused to change her ways, ultimately leading to her health deteriorating. She died not long after. Despite her flaws and controversial behavior, Tula Bankhead remains a legendary figure in Hollywood history, forever immortalized as the original Cruella de Vil, a reminder that sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction.
You're quite a girl, aren't you?
You think?
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Professor. I don't think I'm exceptional.
You are, then.
I know any number like me. You ought to get around.
Number 7. Katherine Hepburn. Make no mistake, Katherine Hepburn is an indomitable force in Hollywood whose enduring legacy still reverberates today. Throughout her storied career, Hepburn amassed an impressive array of accolades, including an unmatched 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress. Her ability to seamlessly traverse between comedic and dramatic roles showcased her unparalleled versatility, solidifying her status as one of the industry's most revered talents. Hepburn's performances weren't merely portrayals, they were transformative journeys that captivated audiences unlike any other. She breathed life into each character with depth and authenticity in a way that no one could. It's no surprise that she inspired generations of aspiring actors after her. However, beyond her illustrious career lies facets of her persona that many found challenging to reconcile. Like a double-edged sword, the same qualities that made her a force to be reckoned with garnered her a reputation for being formidable to work with. Hepburn's insistence on retaining creative control over her roles often led to clashes with directors and producers, who sought to assert their authority over the filmmaking process. Spencer Tracy, her longtime partner and co-star, famously quipped, "She's a blank monster," alluding to her assertiveness and unrelenting nature. Her refusal to capitulate to external pressures and her steadfast commitments to her principles sometimes isolated those around her, fostering perceptions of her as aloof or intimidating. But Hepburn's assertiveness extended beyond the realm of filmmaking. She was also vocal about her political beliefs. While John Wayne was anti-communist, Katherine Hepburn stood on the opposite end of the spectrum. She protested and openly spoke out against the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, denouncing its activities as a witch hunt supported by Wayne's organization. Despite her principled stand, her outspokenness came at a cost. Hepburn faced backlash, being labeled as box office poison and even blacklisted from certain projects. So as we reflect on the legacy of Katherine Hepburn, why not subscribe to the channel and smash the post notification? You don't want to miss the amazing videos we've got lined up.
You can make me happy, and I do not wish to be happy. Yes, I do wish to be happy.
George and Martha.
Number 6. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor, known for her captivating beauty and undeniable talent, was also embroiled in one of Hollywood's most scandalous love triangles, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Her betrayal of her close friend Debbie Reynolds shook the foundations of their relationship and tarnished Taylor's reputation as America's sweetheart. Reynolds and Taylor, both rising stars in the 1950s, formed a close bond on the MGM lot, where they often worked together and attended events side by side. Despite their differing personalities, their friendship blossomed into a sisterly bond built on mutual respect and admiration. However, when Taylor's husband, Mike Todd, tragically died in a plane crash in 1958, her grief led to a forbidden affair with Reynolds' husband, Eddie Fisher. Fisher, Todd's close friend, offered to support Taylor in her time of need, but their relationship soon turned romantic, betraying both Reynolds and Todd's memory. The affair rocked Hollywood to its core. Reynolds, who was pregnant with their second child at the time, was simply blindsided by the betrayal of both her husband and her best friend. It was a traumatic stab to the back that only got worse. Fisher was already the godfather to Taylor's children, along with Todd. The scandal played out in the public eye, with the press and tabloids harvesting every detail. Taylor's reputation as a seductress and husband snatcher ran rampant, casting her in the role of Hollywood's ultimate femme fatale. Some condemned her actions as pure evil, while others viewed her as a victim of her own desires. In any case, Taylor clearly crossed the line. Forgiveness was impossible. In the end, Reynolds filed for divorce from Fisher, severing ties with both him and Taylor. Fisher and Taylor went on to marry, but their union was met with skepticism and criticism from the public and the entertainment industry alike. The fallout from the scandal had a lasting impact on all involved, but Reynolds emerged as a symbol of resilience and grace. Taylor, meanwhile, was forever branded with the stigma of her betrayal, a tarnish on her otherwise illustrious career. But speaking of snatching husbands, you wouldn't believe who we've got next.
So where are we going?
It's a surprise.
If I forget to tell you later, I had a really good time tonight.
Number 5. Julia Roberts. Despite having charming appearances in the media, not all stars possess the same level of grace and kindness behind the scenes. Julia Roberts is one of them. So often hailed as America's sweetheart, Julia Roberts has made headlines for a myriad of shocking controversies that reveal a more complex reality behind her public persona. Where do we start? Ah yes, her difficult behavior on set. A notable instance occurred during her role as Tinkerbell in Steven Spielberg's Hook. Her behavior was so challenging that she earned the nickname Tinker Hell from fellow cast and crew members. To be fair, Roberts was navigating a tough breakup with Kiefer Sutherland, who had cheated on her with an exotic dancer. But honestly, that's not an excuse. While Roberts admitted she didn't know of her tempestuous nickname, she didn't deny that she may have rubbed people the wrong way on set. In fact, she seemed to enjoy it, saying, "I'm a normal person. I mean, if I sit in my trailer for 6 hours doing nothing, I'm going to say, what the heck is going on?" You might want to pay attention to her statement because it serves as a precursor to a more troubling pattern in Roberts' personal life. When Roberts met and fell in love with her now husband, Daniel Moder, he was still married to another woman, Vera Steinberg. Despite Steinberg's lingering feelings, Roberts pursued the relationship unabated. The situation took a particularly ugly turn when Roberts was photographed wearing a t-shirt with the phrase, "Hello Vera" emblazoned on it, a clear dig at Moder's ex-wife. The aftermath of this scandal was intense, with Steinberg branding Roberts as the husband stealer and vowing never to forgive her. She openly expressed her hope that Roberts' marriage to Moder wouldn't last. While Roberts fans may have forgiven and forgotten this scandal, her actions highlighted a darker side to her celebrity image. She may be charming on screen, but her antics behind the silver screen raised questions about the true nature of her character and the extent of her moral compass.
You know, Reverend, when you left me and didn't give a damn what happened to me, I got picked up for vagrancy. And if it wasn't for Joe Courtney's lawyer, I'd still be rotting in that stinking...
Number 4. Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda, an iconic actress renowned for her versatility and captivating performances, captivated audiences with her on-screen charisma and talent. One of her most memorable roles was in the sci-fi cult classic Barbarella, where she portrayed the titular character, a fearless and sensual space adventurer. Fonda's portrayal of Barbarella showcased her ability to embody complex characters with grace and charm, earning her widespread acclaim and adoration from fans around the world. Her magnetic presence on screen, coupled with her striking beauty and undeniable talent, solidified her status as a Hollywood legend. Beyond her undeniable talent as an actress, Fonda was admired for her outspoken advocacy on social and political issues. She used her platform to speak out against injustice and advocate for causes she believed in, earning her admiration from many who saw her as a voice for change. Fonda's courage to challenge societal norms and push for progress endeared her to audiences who respected her commitment to making a difference in the world. However, Fonda's transition from Hollywood starlet to vocal anti-war activist during the Vietnam War sparked controversy and earned her widespread condemnation. Her highly publicized visit to North Vietnam in 1972, where she was photographed sitting on an anti-aircraft gun, was seen as a provocative gesture that outraged many Americans, particularly veterans and supporters of the war effort. This act, along with her vocal opposition to the war and dramatic departure from her glamorous image, led to her being vilified and branded as Hanoi Jane. Despite the backlash, Fonda remained steadfast in her convictions, driven by a sincere belief in the power of activism to bring about positive change and advocate for social justice. Alas, while the Oscar-winning actress enjoyed a successful career, she never really outran the notoriety of her actions in Vietnam. To date, most people are still divided about Fonda's act. Some wrote her off after that, while others admired her courage and conviction in standing up for what she believed was right. But which side do you reside on? Let us know in the comments.
Underneath.
Laura, there are people around.
Charlie, come in here, or this blouse is coming off right here.
Number 3. Terry Hatcher. Terry Hatcher's portrayal of Susan Mayer on Desperate Housewives captivated audience with her blend of vulnerability and strength. However, behind the scenes, Hatcher's demeanor often mirrored her character's icy disposition, creating tension and discord among the cast and crew. During the series' duration, gossip circulated regarding Hatcher's troubled relationships with her co-stars, with rumors of feuds and conflicts saturating Hollywood gossip. While some attributed these tensions to the stresses of filming a successful TV show, others cited Hatcher's aloof demeanor as the main cause of discord. During the show's last season, a notable incident unfolded when the cast united to express gratitude to the crew with an end-of-series gift. Despite the camaraderie among the ensemble, Hatcher notably refrained from participating in the gesture, underscoring her estrangement from her fellow cast members. If we didn't know any better, we'd have said she was a maniac. Hatcher's behavior behind the scenes posed challenges during filming, with some co-stars reportedly feeling uncomfortable or intimidated in her presence. This strained dynamic had a ripple effect on the overall morale on set, fostering an atmosphere of unease that detracted from the collaborative spirit of the production. Despite efforts to address the conflicts and foster unity among the cast, Hatcher's unwillingness to mend fences or extend olive branches only exacerbated tensions. And to make things worse, she didn't let things simmer down. Rather than working to repair relationships, or at least avoiding the issue, she doubled down on her coldness towards her co-stars. This served as the straw that broke the camel's back, further isolating her from the ensemble. In the end, Hatcher's inability to navigate interpersonal relationships on set left her ostracized and alienated from her colleagues. Her behavior serves as a cautionary tale of the consequences of letting personal conflicts overshadow professionalism in the workplace. Her story marks a different trajectory from the next woman on our list. She became cruel as a coping mechanism.
I hate you too, Johnny. I hate you so much that I think I'm going to...
Number 2. Rita Hayworth. Renowned for her beauty and impeccable talent, Rita Hayworth was America's sweetheart, one of the purest forms of her kind. But alas, there's a fine line between dreams and nightmares. Sadly, Rita Hayworth crossed it. She saw the darker side of the silver screen and never remained the same. Hayworth's rise to stardom was meteoric. Her beauty and talent made her the quintessential Hollywood goddess. However, the pressures of fame and expectations affected her mental and emotional well-being deeply. In interviews, she expressed awareness of the impact of her on-screen persona on her personal life, struggling to balance her public image with her private struggles. On film productions, stories circulated about Hayworth's unreliable behavior. Challenges with punctuality and concentration often led to clashes with colleagues, resulting in delays and frustration among the film crew. These incidents fueled rumors of her being rude and unprofessional, tarnishing her reputation in the industry. As the years passed, Hayworth's struggles with mental health became more pronounced. Her unreliable behavior and occasional outbursts served as poignant indicators of the toll that fame and personal turmoil had taken on her. Despite her outward image of perfection, she grappled with inner demons that ultimately affected her career and personal life. In hindsight, Hayworth's story reminds us of the importance of recognizing the humanity behind the glamorous facade of Hollywood. Behind the dazzling lights and red carpets, celebrities like Rita Hayworth face their own battles, struggling to reconcile their public personas with their private struggles. It's a sobering reminder that fame and fortune do not guarantee happiness or fulfillment, and that true beauty lies in authenticity and self-acceptance. Our final pick, though, well, let's just say she can't get a break. Number 1. Reese Witherspoon. Known for her charming on-screen presence and impeccable acting skills, Reese Witherspoon has graced audiences with memorable performances and iconic roles such as Elle Woods in Legally Blonde and June Carter Cash in Walk the Line. Witherspoon's ability to portray strong, independent women endeared her to audiences worldwide, earning her widespread acclaim. Off-screen, Witherspoon is celebrated for her philanthropic efforts and advocacy for women's rights, making her a beloved figure in Hollywood. Her infectious energy, wit, and down-to-earth personality have endeared her to fans and colleagues alike, solidifying her reputation as America's sweetheart. However, behind the scenes, Reese often gets a lot of attention for her antics. And no, we're not talking about the time she broke the internet for all the wrong reasons for her seemingly harmless recipe for a cococino, an iced coffee made from using snow. Rumors have circulated about Witherspoon's alleged unfriendly behavior towards the crew working with her on set. An anonymous source claimed that she rarely smiles or interacts with staff, preferring to keep to herself. Despite the success of Legally Blonde, director Robert Luketic had negative things to say about her. He said she was one of the most difficult actresses to bond with and that she made shoots way too serious. Additionally, reports suggest that Witherspoon insists on having her own hair and makeup trailer, refusing to share it even with other celebrities. These allegations paint a troubling picture of Witherspoon's demeanor off-camera, contrasting sharply with her public persona. While her talent and philanthropy have garnered admiration, her reported behavior towards colleagues raises questions about her character and professionalism in the industry. Perhaps she may not be the most textbook evil woman on our list, but the disparity between her on- and off-screen personas is utmost shocking. This concludes our exploration of 15 of Hollywood's most notorious actresses. If you found it engaging, be sure to hit the like button and check out the video currently appearing on your screen. You don't want to miss it.